Okay, so day one of the 10 week. Ugh. I'm Andy from the running channel, and a few weeks ago the rest of the team set me the first part of a 10-week challenge, which was to find out exactly what shape I was in over 5k. So I headed out, I ran 16:06, which I was pretty pleased with, and then we handed over to you guys, the running channel viewers, to set me the 10-week challenge. So let's find out what that is. There are a whole range of challenges that you guys suggested, right the way from a marathon, and I think I have dodged a bullet on that one a little bit, all the way down to the challenge that the team have selected for me, which is to try and break 15 minutes for 5k, 10 weeks to do it, 4 training sessions. Pretty terrifying. 15 minutes is tough, and I'm genuinely pretty scared about whether I'm going to be able to achieve it. But the point of this video series is for me to give you an insight into the highs and lows of my training, but more importantly, to help talk you through the exact training that I'm doing, make it relatable and convertible to any individual targets that you might have in terms of paces and distance and so on, and help you to maximize training 4 days a week. The best person to help me out is my coach throughout my professional career, Andy Hobdell. He's coached athletes to the last 3 Olympic Games, from 1500 meters to marathon, but he also coaches beginner runners, so he understands all about motivation, helping you get the most out of yourself, and he's a perfect person for me to ask whether or not I can do it. I have 10 weeks to break 15 minutes for 5k.
15 minutes to 5k. You are aware that if you break 15 minutes for the 5k, you will be one of the fastest park runners in the country on that day. And you've been retired for how many years?
Yeah, this is the pep talk I was looking for. I've been retired since the end of 2016, stopped running for a year. As you well know, and you've been begging me to get back into it, and challenging me every time I do a park run to go a little bit quicker. So now you've got your chance.
10 weeks isn't a lot of time, but you know, if we can keep you fit and healthy for the first few weeks, get you into running, get you flowing nicely, get you back into that mindset of running that type of amount of training each week. You know, you say you've only been doing once a week, then, you know, as we've always said, anything is possible. Yeah, to me, it sounds like a really good challenge. As long as you're up for it, are you up for it?
Yeah, definitely up for it. I'm more motivated than I've been in 2 or 3 years really, since I my career kind of petered out. I'm keen to get back into it.
You know the score, Andy, as we've always worked. You know, training isn't set in stone. It's an organic process week to week, and we're really going to have to tune this into you and how you recover, how you progress, and we're really going to have to max that each week, just so that we are sensible, we are careful, and really work with how you're progressing, if that makes sense.
Yeah, great. And is it going to be just like the old times, where I'll get a text message through on a Sunday night training this week?
To me, is there any other way that Sunday night challenge that comes through for the training for the week? I think we're going to have to do that, most definitely.
Okay, so I'm heading out for my first run of the 10-week challenge. My coach has now set me a 30-minute run, but I have to cover 5 miles in that 30 minutes, so it's not an easy one to go straight off. So first run out, 5 miles in 30 minutes, followed by some easy strides. So I've finally made my way down to the embankment, and I can pick up the pace a little bit. I'm not really used to documenting my runs in this way, so I set off in running headphones, and I've abandoned them pretty swiftly because obviously it makes it pretty difficult to talk to the camera. Also helps with being able to hear traffic, so it just seemed a bit more straightforward. I always forget how lucky I am to be able to just head out, see the London landmarks at lunchtime. Probably don't do it enough, and I'm going to have to do it a bit more if I'm going to squeeze in these 4 training sessions a week. It's worth saying that on paper this run's pretty tough, and actually I'm struggling with the pace. But it's definitely not a tempo run. It's an introduction to a faster, more sustained pace over a 5-mile period, which I think is a really good way of getting my body used to the training that's to come. So that was a total reality check. Training 1 and D0. The location I chose, the planning, my fitness made that session almost impossible. So to try and run 6-minute miling on the route that I'd chosen and how I feel currently turned out to be impossible, and it turned into a kind of impromptu fartlek where my pace was really irregular and I was really working really hard, which I suppose is the point. So I ran for 30 minutes and I have had a hard workout, but it's a reminder to me of how much thought and effort went into my training back in the day, and probably how much more respect I need to give to it now. which probably I was a little bit too blasé. So this is day 2 of week 1. It's actually a couple of days after the day 1, but I'm doing 4 days a week, so I'm going to be calling those day 1, 2, 3 and 4. So this is my second run of week 1. I'm hoping this one goes better than my first run, so I'm sort of slightly masochistically looking forward to this. But first interval session in a long time. I'll take this chance to talk you through it on my warm-up. I'm just going to do an easy 1.5 2 mile warm-up this morning. So today's session is a really good sort of introductory interval session. I'm obviously familiar with doing lots of different types of interval sessions in my professional career, but when I was talking to Andy about my motivation and getting out on my own, you know, previously I had a nice training group that I'd always been meeting up with, and Andy to oversee my training. I told him he needed to be really prescriptive and tell me exactly what to do, and then I would get out and do my best to do it. So the plan this morning is to head out for 5 minutes, 4 minutes, 3 minutes, 2 minutes, 1 minute as my hard efforts, all with 1 minute's recovery in between. Then I'm going to take a slightly longer recovery, 2 to 3 minutes, and then I've got 2 1 mile efforts at threshold. So that kind of 7 out of 10 level for me, I know that my heart rate will be 170 to 175, hopefully around 520, 530 pace. So more broadly the parkrun pace for my current fitness level. So warm up done, just short of 2 miles. I'm not sure how ready I feel, but I'm going to head off for the first interval session of my challenge. The Running Channel t-shirt's also getting a debut today, so I'm feeling very privileged to wear that, and I'll report back in at the end of the session and let you know how I go. Wow, session done by around 7:30. That's got to be a first for me. And that was equal parts incredibly tough and brilliant. That was everything that I love about training. Setting off for something, not knowing exactly how you're going to feel, especially because in my previous run I'd felt awful. And I suppose it's a lesson in both sides of the coin, which is training well and being in good shape for a race is never contingent on your performance in one session. Either when you do an amazing session, that doesn't necessarily mean that you've got to do amazing sessions every single time you sit on the track or the road or the trail or whatever. And similarly, when you have a bad session, everyone has a bad session. The benefit I always had previously was an amazing training group where there's 3 or 4 of us, and there was always one of us having a bad day, but the others could pick me up, or I could help pick them up. And that's the amazing thing about club or crew running. You're surrounded by people sharing the pain and sharing the kind of the pleasure and the enjoyment of achieving something. The thing I was most pleased about today is the evolution within the session. I had 5 minutes, 4 minutes, 3 minutes, 2 minutes, 1 minute at parkrun pace, so at a tough effort, followed by 2 mile intervals at my threshold effort. My first 5 minute effort of the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 was actually marginally slower than my last 2 mile efforts at threshold, and that's just because the 4 minute, 3 minute, 2 minute, 1 minute gets your legs turning over to the point where you finish that 1 minute rest, have a recovery, then actually your threshold pace, whilst it's aerobically difficult, it's tough to run and you are working hard. In terms of physically turning your legs over, that felt much easier. So hopefully that's something that I can share with you and be useful in training. Now my arm hurts. So that's 2 runs done in my week 1 of the 10-week challenge. 1 terrible run, 1 really positive run. I'm going to head into work now, catch the train, check in with you again for my next run, which after this is a nice recovery run. So this is day 3 of week 1, or training session 3 of week 1, and thankfully it's a recovery run. So this is right in my wheelhouse at the moment. A nice easy 5 mile run, exactly how my body feels, no pressure on pace. I can just run how I feel. So that's what I'm doing this morning. Not too shabby this morning. It's absolutely spectacular. is why we run. So recovery run done, and thankfully it worked the way it should, which is I felt pretty ropey at the start, but by the end a nice easy 5 miles has made my legs feel better, so it's felt at this point like genuine active recovery. We'll see how that helps me out with my longer run tomorrow. Sunday of week 1. Today I'm going to be doing my 4th run of the week, so I've got 10 miles, which is my longer run. I've been asked to do the first 5 miles easy, so just as my easy to steady, so however my body feels, which I imagine today will be somewhere around 6:37 minute miling on average. And then the second 5 miles of the 10-mile run, I'm supposed to pick it up. So I would describe this as a progressive long run, and I'm targeting around 6-minute mile average for those final 5 miles. So we'll have to see how we go. It's always probably a bit easier just to head out for a long run without thinking about pace too much, which is what I would normally do. Now I've got a bit more structure to my training. I think mentally it will help me to be focusing on splitting the run into two blocks, first 5 miles, second 5 miles, and we'll see how it feels. I'll report back in afterwards. Right, at the top of a hill after nearly 4 miles, cruising along okay, even got friends today. Definitely feeling my first week's training in my legs. So the first time I've turned up on a Sunday run and not been fresh, which I think Matt's probably grateful of. So yeah, another mile until we pick up the pace a little bit on the way home on this nearly 10-mile loop. See how we go. So I can't really complain about that. 10 miles done. The first 5 at a steady, easy pace. I wasn't really looking at my watch, so I'll check later to see what the pace was, but I'm thinking it was around 6:30 to 7-minute pace. A few hills in there as well. And then the second 5 miles was progressive, so we didn't launch straight into a crazy pace, but I do think I managed to average right around 6-minute pace. So a pace at which I can just about hold a conversation, but that I'm not talking all the time. So I could say long sentences, but I was definitely working really hard by the end. That's the end of week 1 of my 10-week challenge. There have been some ups and downs already. I hope you found it interesting and useful. I'd love to hear your own individual targets or challenges that you're undertaking at the moment. Maybe you can give me a little bit of support in the comments below. Also, I'd love it if you subscribe to the channel, tap the bell icon so you're notified each time we upload videos just like this one. And I'll see you next time for an update on my 10-week challenge.